All right, my name is Kyle Giannis. I was born December 28th, 1983. Born in Vancouver. Grew up in Surrey. I don't know where to start. I grew up in Surrey. I just want to share my story with everybody because I know we all go through challenges and have problems. And I hope by sharing mine, I can kind of inspire and help others get through theirs. Growing up in Surrey, I guess I came up, you can definitely say, in not the high class areas. I grew up in Birdland on Lansdowne Drive with my older sister, a brother, and my mom and dad. My parents split up when I was young. I guess for me that was my first tragedy. When my mom left, I was always told she was shopping. So for years I thought my mom was shopping. Until one day I realized that she wasn't shopping. That's funny. So for me, I guess that was my first realization of what's about to come. My dad was a trucker, so he was never around. So we were raised by my older sister mostly. She was 13 years older. Where do I start? Through my life, it's been a lot of tragedies. I've seen a lot of stuff. When it came to my mom mostly, I saw my mom deal with shitty people, shitty men. And for me that was something that of course wasn't okay. One thing my dad always stuck in us as a value was to stick up and protect mainly your family and friends. So whenever I saw my mom having a hard time, it made me want to change it. So I did whatever I could, help my mom. I remember at 15, I was introduced to crime. So I got into basically dealing with drugs at a young age, about 15. I remember working at my first house. And I remember shortly into being involved in that lifestyle, I had a customer come to the door and they're of my age. So within 15 to 17 oldest. And I remember just no way was I selling this person drugs. Because I felt like that could have been me, man, on the other side of that door, right? Like for me it was like weird. I understood the value of it. I guess like in a building stuff, like I said, I always looked at it getting ahead. Like I wanted it for a cause. I wasn't into it because I loved the lifestyle or I wanted to give people drugs. So when a young kid came and I denied him, it would create conflict obviously for me because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do by selling somebody else's drugs. So I refused to give. For me, it's a personal thing. Like I said, I don't think it's right like that. So that transitioned my life into like a different aspect and area. I had to get away from selling it like that. I couldn't sell it to people. During that time when I did that, I ended up getting my first charge also in that same time frame for a PPT, which is possession for purpose of trafficking. From there, I guess I got into actually fighting. Fighting was my next page. Growing up with an older brother and stuff, was picked on a lot, and I was told to learn how to use my hands at a young age, so I started boxing at 13 at Queensborough Park in New Westminster. Yeah, it was an old school gym, old school guy that used to teach us fighting there. And yeah, you would go in there and you'd have to fight. Yeah, you'd have to fight, man. That was funny. That was a good experience. So I did that for 2 years. And I guess when I got out of that, and then to skip forward again to back when we were 15 after that charge, my next step was fighting for money. So I got into backyard fights. My brother would sit up with older guys. I was about, I guess maybe 17, 18 at the time, and yeah, I got my first big fight was for 10,000 bucks. Yeah, guy had 5,000 bucks in his motorbike. My brother put up the money for me. Yeah. That's what we called him afterwards. That was funny. Yeah. Unfortunately, with the wealth I was creating back then, I was young mentality. I was way into jewelry and fancy cars and being in the limelight. I always wanted to be out with everybody, be in the scene, be downtown, be at the clubs. Yeah, not the best, I don't think. I wish I would have had my mentality now that I did back then. And that lifestyle led me up. I thought I was doing amazing and doing crazy good. 2007, opened my eyes. I was on my way to Cancun, Mexico for vacation. I landed in Cancun airport just to find out at the doors of the plane there was an international warrant for my arrest for a conspiracy to import and export drugs in America. So basically from Cancun, they put me in a flight to New York. I landed at JKF Airport, which was one of the most embarrassing moments. They basically landed in the middle of tarmac, had the whole airport closed down, and we were like surrounded by like, I don't even know how many cops and like the little cop tanks and stuff. Like, for me it was crazy because they knew they boarded me on a plane, no weapons, no nothing, and they made this crazy scene. Long story short, I got took down to Brooklyn, JF, what's it called, Brooklyn FTC basically. It's like their holding center for pretrial. So same thing, so when I ended up transferring from New York to Seattle, that's where I did my trial. Same in Seattle, man, it's the same, like the mentality in jail is so crazy, it's just like nuts. And then from Seattle, I lost my trial. I was given 13 years, went down to Lompoc, California. And same thing there, it was 2,400 of us, I think, roughly on the yard, 2,400 guys on the 1 yard. And yeah, you walk into the food hall, and you walk in, man, you look, you see, it's whites, blacks, Mexicans, Islanders, and Islanders is just anybody from an island. And yeah, you do time for real down there. The population is such a high population of lifers. So I mean, it's, you know, you got to do your time like a real person, man. That's respectful. Like, one thing you're gonna learn from that place is respect. I mean, you respect each other. It's not something. It's not a joke. It's not a game. And you take that with you. I think you take that with you everywhere. So when I left, way more respect for people than I had before I went to jail. You mean? Before I went to jail, that's probably a little ass. Honestly, arrogant little shithead, right? So I was released from prison on parole March 1st, 2015. And then I was diagnosed. My first problem getting out of jail was cancer of February 1st, 2016. Their main scan found that I had tumors were congested in my chest, is where the main area was. That's why I was creating problems with my breathing, because I had such big tumors in there. Right when I got diagnosed, the first person that I called was my dad. And yeah, fuck, I can't talk about dad. Pause. So when I found out I had the cancer, basically I just told myself that, fuck, you mean, like, I wouldn't let myself get depressed. Immediately I told myself, don't get down on it, man. Just don't look at it as a end point or a fail point. Look at it as just another stepping stone. I've been through so much. I mean, I ain't stopping now, is basically what I told myself. Like, forget it. So basically, I got ready. I just basically set myself up and got ready for when my treatment started, because I knew it was going to be hell. Basically, I trained up through my whole thing. That was going to be the first time I was going to do a show, was right when I was diagnosed with cancer. I was actually just starting a prep to get on stage, because I just figured it was something I should do. I've been into training my whole life, so I figured, why not? And then I figured, hey, why not one more stepping stone, right? And then, yeah, sure enough, we were on a good track. Everything was getting healthy. You know, we were getting back on track, and then, of course, one more tragedy. What else happens in Kyle's life? I was out for dinner at Brown's Social House in Langley with some friends, and one person he thought was a friend, and then getting set up. Some people were trying to set up a robbery on me. So I remember finishing dinner, paying the bill, going outside, putting my friend in the car, and then standing outside my car and waiting for my friends to come out. My one buddy comes out and he's smoking a cigarette. And as he comes to the restaurant, I look at him as he's coming out. I said, dude, what are you doing with the cigarette, man? Those things are gonna fucking kill you. And I shit you not, as soon as I said those words, man, all you could hear was bang, bang. And the first one felt like a punch to my back. Boom, I felt like I took a shot to my left side, boom. And just the sounds, I was like, holy fuck, I just got shot. Boom, 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 4 more, boom, 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 back, 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 leg, leg. Boom, I fell down to the ground. And then you can just hear the commotion. I was wide awake, I was sitting on my ass. I felt like I totally lost the left side of my body. And I just remember sitting there, and then I heard 2 more shots. And I just remember telling myself, gotta get up, man, get up, get up. I got up, and I felt like I lost my left leg. I had tunnel vision. I could see straight ahead of me. I could see Brown's Restaurant, man, and I could hear everything going on around me, but I couldn't see nothing else. And I just knew I had to get to the door. And I was just like pounding on the window. Everybody's looking up at me, like staring at me in disbelief. And I'm pounding on the door because its exit door wouldn't open, so I was like, open the door. Thankfully, my friend came out of the car, ran up to the window, and then they opened the door when they got there. And I just laid on the bench. As soon as I went in the door, it was like a flat bench. So I laid on that, boom. I laid on that with my back. And that's where the holes were. So they're saying that I guess luckily that I was so big and I put enough compression on there that it actually helped for the time I was waiting for the ambulance. And I remember laying there, man, everybody's just over me and crowding me and everybody's trying to get in my face and like, we'll save your life. And I just remember pushing everybody away. pushing everybody. My friend's standing there, and I just remember everything was just so slow and calm and like no pain. And then reality kicked in because all of a sudden I couldn't breathe. I just remember looking over and just saying, hey man, tell my family I love them, man. Like this is when it's it. I said, I'm done, man. I'm sorry. Like that was my exact words were, I'm done. I'm sorry. Tell my family I love them. Like fuck this, is it for me. Who came awake the next morning, man? You mean 10 hours later, Kyle's awake. And then sure enough, they got me calmed down. They let one of my family members in so I could see them. Brought me down to like just kind of calm me down mode. And I just remember looking around and going, holy fuck, I'm alive, man. And then the following year, I sit with my final tragedy, which was the passing of my father. When my dad passed, I promised one thing, I'd take care of my brother and my sister. And for me as a person, I deal with loss or bad, I like kind of two sides. I'm either a positive person, like move forward, or I'm like bad tempered. So like I only know those kind of sides in diversity. I'm not really like a even path. And so when I lost my dad, I definitely found myself in a negative headspace because I was just like, holy shit, I've gone through so much and I've pushed through everything. And now I've lost my main sport. And right at the time, actually, the day after, I met Lisa. And she actually pulled me out of it and kind of picked me back up and brought me back to life, man. We went back and just like, focused on totally different things. She helped me bring me out of the negative where I knew I was going into. And we started a company. So we started Iron Athletics clothing gear. I've always obviously been into like fitness and the healthy lifestyle. My main thing was I always wanted to open a gym. But that was just like a lot more planning. We needed a lot more things into it, so we decided to start off with clothing first. She loves clothing. I'm always down for new gear. So figured why not start off with that, and then from there we'll meet people and branch off and grow into every other aspect we want to. So what I can say is, through diversity, it's a mentality thing, man. It's how we all deal with it, how we all look at it, and what we come through on the other side. I've been through a lot of stuff, crazy things. I'm glad I can share some of them with you. And I've been through, sad things with the family, losses, life. But everything I know I've had to push through, and I've had to do it for myself, the rest of my family, my partner, my loved ones. And basically I just want to say through any diversity and through anything in our life, no matter how bad we think it is, we can always get through it if we just let ourselves know we can. And now here we are, growing. With a lot more things to come. I should say 2020 is going to be a crazy year in a positive way. And I hope that I can basically reach out, touch, help anybody impossible get through anything they're going through. If it's negative or anything, or if it's positive and help them more positively push through that. Doesn't matter what it is, just know you can always get through it.